We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but it's a habit. Cool quote I heard, but it's so true. Think about all the things you've ever wanted to do and accomplish in your life, or all the things that you've ever wanted to get good at, but you've always blamed it on, or I guess this goes for other people too. I mean, not just you, but it goes like all the things that we've ever wanted to do, all the things we've ever wanted to be good at, yet we blame it on stuff. Oh yeah, I wanted to build some good muscle, but I have bad genetics. Oh yeah, I wanted to become an expert on this topic, but I'm just not smart enough. I wanted to do this, but I'm just not good enough. I really want to do this in my life, but I'm just not fit for it, man. It's like, but you are. Those bodybuilders, man, they don't just wake up one day and they're like that. They train over and over and over again and over, almost like it's just like a robot, like on repeat or something on repeat. I mean, people that build a successful business, they just keep trying and trying and trying again. It's not like they just woke up one day and they got lucky. It's not like that bodybuilder just woke up one day and he was huge and fit. It's not like that expert on a topic just woke up one day and all of a sudden he had all the knowledge in the world. No. They kept doing the same thing over and over and over, and until it was probably annoying, or until they seemed like a robot. And so much of the time when you do something repeatedly over and over and over again, people are gonna say like you're boring, or people are gonna say like how you're just obsessed. You're too obsessed. It's ridiculous. But it's like, that's how you get it, man. Think about all the things that people have done that's good. Okay, yeah, sure, maybe some people got lucky, like winning the lottery. Okay, that requires luck. But for the most part, those people are actually playing the lottery over and over and over again. A lot of people don't end up winning it, but that's a whole different thing. But like, whether it be people that are experts on things, people that have achieved something really great, people that have gotten really far in life, they just kept doing that same thing over and over and over again. They didn't just wake up one day and all of a sudden they were there and they were good at it and everything was perfect. No, man, it's like you got to keep doing it over and over and over until it's annoying, until you seem like a robot. And the thing is that if you love something enough, you're gonna do it over and over, and it's because it's annoying. Sure, I'm not in the shape of some bodybuilder yet, but I'm working on my physique as much as I can, and you know what? I work out over and over and over again all the time, and it's because I love it. But like, again, it goes with anything in life, man. You keep eating junk food repeatedly over and over and over, day after day, for years, it's going to destroy your health. You keep eating good food over and over and over again for years, it's going to make your health good. It's not like you eat one healthy meal and all of a sudden you're good to go for life, and you eat one bad meal and all of a sudden you're screwed for life. No, man, everything that turns out for the best, everything that turns out to be excellence is just someone who did things over and over and over again. And people start from the bottom, bro. You look at where bodybuilders started. They started from the bottom. Yeah, of course, some of them use steroids. Yeah, we all know that. Whatever, you could hit me with that facts. But there's a lot of them that don't. It's not like every single one just all of a sudden goes to steroids. I guarantee there's at least one singular bodybuilder out there who started from nothing and all naturally built a physique that they ended up having. It's like, so you can sit here and blame everything on shortcuts or on cheats and stuff. And yeah, some people do use shortcuts and cheats, and it ends up coming back at them and biting them in the butt in the future and doing something bad for them. But there's a lot of people, man, that their success is built just from doing the same thing over and over and over. I mean, why do you think people say practice makes perfect? Why do you think you were taught that growing up as a kid? Because you keep practicing something like baseball players, sports players. I mean, they kept practicing and going and going and going, and they keep practicing day after day after day until it's just ridiculous. Like, they seem like robots. That's all they do. That's all their life is just that. And look, I know that's kind of taking it to the extreme. I'm not saying if you want to be good at something or do something in your life, then you have to make your entire life about that. Of course, there's other important things in life besides just the one thing. Of course, there's a lot of important things in life, but what I am talking about is things that you do want to accomplish in life. Whatever it is that you do want to accomplish, you have to do it over and over and over again until you seem like a dang robot, until it's annoying. That's the way you're going to get good at it. You're not just going to wake up and all of a sudden be good one day. You're not just going to, oh, please, God, make me good, and then just sit on your couch and do nothing. And then, no, man, yeah, God, please help me be good. But he's going to tell you, okay, then go and do this and keep doing it day after day. Like, that's how you get good at something. That's why I like that quote, that we are what we repeatedly do. You are a junk food addict if you can't repeatedly eat junk food. You are a bodybuilder or a man with a built body if you keep working on it day after day after day. You are an expert in this field or this industry if you keep working on it day after day after day and you become it. You are freaking an expert baseball player if you keep playing baseball over and over and over again until no one can defeat you. It's like that's how you be. Like, we are what we repeatedly do. Even if you're not the best at it. Okay, like, I'm not the best, I don't have the best, built body in the world, but I mean, I definitely have something. And you know what? It's a lot better than my younger self. So even though I would not consider myself a bodybuilder, I am someone who's building their body. So I mean, maybe in a technical sense, but the bottom line is that, like, whatever you want to call me, a bodybuilder, a health or fitness nerd, whatever you want to call me, it's like, I'm that, not because I woke up and I was good at it, not because I got the good genetics or anything, but because I kept doing it over and over and over and over, and I continue to do it over and over and over to the point to where it's annoying, to the point to where people say I'm obsessed, people say I'm like a robot, but I love it so much. So I don't even have to, like, really discipline myself to do it over and over. Yeah, there's some days where I don't feel like it and I'm not really feeling, okay, I got to get up, I discipline myself. But most days I just do it because I love it. And that's the thing, man. That's why it's so important to go after whatever passion you have in life. Like the passions that you have, go after it. And it may not work out. If it doesn't work out, hey, man, that's okay. You can still keep it as a hobby. Whatever your purpose is, hey, God's plan for you will prevail. So even if you have some other passions like I do, it may just end up being a hobby, and that's okay. Because again, God's plan will prevail. But the bottom line is, whatever your passions are, you have those instilled in you for a reason. You were born with them for a reason. Do not let them go to waste. Go build up your passions day after day after day, because before you know it, that hobby could turn into a full-time career. That passion of yours could turn into your life's purpose, your life's work, whatever. And even if it doesn't, again, they can just still stick as hobbies. But just work on all your passions, man, because the things that you love to do, you won't even have to discipline yourself to do them, because if you love them, that's going to be motivation and discipline enough. No one's going to have to tell you to do it. You're not going to have to wake yourself up in the morning. That love and that passion is going to wake you up for you. It's going to be your motivation for you. But if you try to discipline yourself to do something that you just absolutely hate doing because you heard someone else say, oh, this is the best path in life and this is the way to go, it's like, no, man. It's going to blow back up in your face. Trust me, been there, done that. So, you know what I say? Take your passions, take the things that you love, and just work on them day after day after day after day. Make them into something great, even if it's like your greatest hobby or it could be your greatest life's work. Whatever you can make it into, do it. But just keep working on it day after day after day. It's the easiest form of discipline is love and passion. And that's how people build good relationships too, is by working on the relationship day after day after day. It's not like all of a sudden, oh yeah, I met this girl and boom, we were just like, we were in love right away. Whatever. It's like, no. I mean, okay, yeah, maybe in love right away, but we had our relationship has been as good as it is since day one. It's like, no, man, most people if they're being honest, they're going to say our relationship is better now than day one. Even though it was good day one, it's better now because we've worked on it, right? We built the best relationship that we can. And the more that you work on something day after day repeatedly, the more excellent it becomes. That's why we are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act. It's not just one singular act, but it's a habit. Do it day after day after day. Whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to get, whatever it is that you want to achieve, more than likely your passions and your love, right? Boom, just do them day after day after day. No one should even have to tell you to do that if you really love it and are passionate about it. But don't expect success from it right away, and don't expect it all just to, be the greatest thing you ever did in life, because you might have a lot of passions and one of them turns out just to be a regular hobby. One of them turns out to be your entire life stinking work. You might have a good relationship with a girl and you like it and you're trying to make it excellent, but it doesn't work out. Okay, that's all right. You find the next girl, boom. However, it might take a bunch of girls before you finally meet the right one, and boom, you guys have a great relationship together. It's an excellent relationship, and boom, you get married, stuff like that. But the bottom line is that if you want to make something great relationship, great body, great career, great, I said relationships, right? Great friendships, great goals, great anything, You don't just do it once or twice or a few times. No, you do it so many times where you lose count. You can't even keep count anymore. You do it so many times to where it's almost annoying, to where you're literally obsessed, to where it's like all that's on your mind all the time. And you're doing it day after day after day, even when you don't feel like it. And that being said, that's how excellence will be built with you and, of course, your passions over time. Is just by doing it day after day. It's all about consistency. There is no life hack. There is no shortcut. And even if there are shortcuts, okay, steroids is a shortcut. Okay, get rich quick scheme online is a shortcut. Getting married after 2 months to a girl just because you think you guys are right for each other because you're in the honeymoon phase, that's a shortcut. You know what's going to happen with those shortcuts? I'm telling you, they always blow back up in your face in some way, shape, or form. Steroids destroy your health. The relationship after marrying for 2 months, for the most part, ends up falling apart. Maybe there are some, kind of lucky ducks out there, whatever you want to call it. But for the most part, those relationships fall apart because you think you're in love with her and that you want to have a kid with her after 2 months. It's like, dude, no. Goals and dreams, stuff like that. If you do it just for a little bit and find like some kind of shortcut, I got rich quick, whatever. It's like, no, dude. I'm telling you, the shortcuts, they always seem like the nice pot of gold right in front of your face, but then you take it. And later on in life, you come to realize that you actually went on a dead-end road. It was never a shortcut. It was just a dead-end road that tricked you by shining a pot of gold in your face. You see this pot of gold from the end of the road. You keep going down it. You think you reached it, but you come to realize you just reached, nothing. Just the light reflecting off dirt or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say with this. But the bottom line is that, no, man, consistency. What's the other word? Dedication, perseverance, that's it. All those things, man, all those things that people think are lame, all those things that people think, that doesn't apply in today's world because today we need everything so darn quick, and if you don't get it quick, then you're not successful and you stink. Like, no, man, no. No matter how quickly people need results, especially with the modern technology, people need results right away. People need the package at their doorstep the next day, otherwise they're going to freak out. It's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense in some scenarios, but I feel like so many of us just want everything right away. And it's like, no, man, no. Patience, perseverance, consistency, those things are always going to be great values, and if you just keep up with it, then it's going to bring you a great reward, right? Even God's word says, do not become weary in doing good works, for at the right time, which is his timing, it will produce a harvest of righteousness for those that do not give up. And the bottom line is that if you love something enough and you're passionate about it, you're never going to want to give up on it. You're never going to want to take an off day unless like you're really just it's just like a really horrible day. But even then, you're not even going to like taking the off day, even if you do. If you love something and you have enough passion for it, you're going to do it consistently. You're going to persevere. You're going to dedicate yourself to it. You're going to do it so much to where you feel like a robot and you're obsessed. So at the end of the day, man, it's like, excellence is a habit, but where does the greatest excellence come from? The greatest excellence comes from love and passion. Because things that you love and are passionate about, you'll naturally make it a habit in your life because you love it so much and you're passionate about it. And then over time, that's when it becomes excellence. So, yeah, cool quote I heard. Thought I would share it. Thought I'd give there's my little speech on it, if you will. And that being said, what do we got today? Well, we did gym push yesterday. So, as I've wanted to, going to go back to half and half gym, half calisthenics. And I'm going to be going to this cool little place. I think there's a storm brewing. I heard some thunder, but maybe that's just off in the distance because I'm also seeing some blue skies from this way a little bit. Might not be able to see it here, but seeing it a little bit. So, yeah. We got second push day, which I'm still feeling sore from the first push day, but I think that's going to be kind of like a good booster for the second one. And then, boom, we'll do double pull day, then double leg day, which will give the rest of the week for me to rest from push. So even though people say, oh, I know, you should probably rest for a full day or something before you do it again. It's like I've let my push muscles rest for 24 hours. I mean, I haven't actually slept for 24 hours, but let my push muscles rest for 24 hours. And yeah, I'm still feeling pretty sore, but you know what? I think what I like about the calisthenics the day after the gym is it's going to be like that little extra boost because I think the weightlifting definitely hits harder. Whereas calisthenics, like I think it hits harder in terms of like like training your body and your mind at once. I could give a whole little speech on that. I don't think calisthenics hits as hard as weightlifting does, but I do think that it definitely trains like your own, like kind of your own body strength, if you will. So that's what I like about it. I think it's definitely a good like boost and a good push. Not to say that you cannot, build a really good aesthetic body with calisthenics. I definitely think that you could, but what I've kind of come to realize is that, at least for me, I think weightlifting is definitely the main thing. Definitely the good main push. That's like the boom, like, your main push. And then I think the calisthenics is a good like boost. And so I'm still feeling sore, but I'm also feeling like up for a workout, and it's not like my muscles can't push. So I think by doing that kind of double push, double pull, double leg day, I think it's going to give me, yes, a good initial push and then an extra boost the day after. And then I also have the rest of the week from there on out to rest my push muscle groups. Just like how Tuesday and Wednesday will be pull, right? Gym as the initial, and then the day after calisthenics as like that boost, and then boom, I got like the rest of the week and weekend until like the next pull sessions to really rest off my pull muscles. So I think that something tells me, and I shouldn't have gone off this for a week, but I did, because I was like, oh, I'll do 5 days at the gym, like I think it's going to be great. But like I'm telling you, something's hitting me. When I have that gut feeling, I got to go with it, regardless of what other people say, regardless of what I've been taught. If you got a gut feeling, I'm telling you, like, you got to go with it. You at least got to give it a shot. And I got that gut feeling, like this half gym, half calisthenics, with the initial push being the gym and the day after being the calisthenics booster. I have a feeling this is going to do me really, really good. Over time, that is. It's not like next week I'm just going to come back and, be 180 of pure aesthetic muscle. But, over time, I think this is going to do me really good. And on top of that, too, hey, I love the gym. I love calisthenics. People think you got to stick with one. No, man. If you love something, you got to stick with it. Otherwise, if you give up on it, you're either going to miss it and end up going back at some points, or if you don't stick with it in some way, shape, or form, you're going to miss it and go back to it, and you're going to kind of throw yourself off. So I love the gym. I love calisthenics. I should have never left the gym for a period of time, but I'm glad I kind of learned that I love calisthenics too. And so, boom, here we go. I shouldn't have left calisthenics last week, but I did. Just for a week, though. I love both, bro. I don't care what people, it's not the best split, and you're going to do better in the gym. It's like, no, you're going to do better staying consistent at the thing that you love the most. Because again, if you have a guy who loves the gym and a guy who hates the gym, yet the guy who hates the gym claims that he is stupidly disciplined. I'm telling you, that guy who hates the gym, he's going to be stupidly disciplined for a little while, but over time, he's going to start taking a little bit more rest days than he should. He's going to start taking a little bit more off days. And then before you know it, those little bit of time is going to turn into fairly often. Then before you know it, he's going to quit the gym because he hates it. I mean, you hate something enough, you're not going to stick with it. If you're not going to stay with a girl whom you just don't love and you can't stand. You're not going to stay at a job for your entire life that you literally cannot stand. You want to blow your face off every day, unless like you literally have zero other option for survival. Like, that's just the bottom line, man. If you could trade it for something better, even just something that you love a little bit more, you're gonna do it. That's the bottom line. And we got to start learning to, embrace those passions of ours, instead of just thinking that, oh, I heard this advice from this person, maybe they're right. It's like, no, man. The advice that people give is just from things that they learn. Yes, we can take it and we can try it, and there's going to be a lot of things that work. There's a lot of advice I've heard from some good people that's really worked for me in my life, and I'm like, that's flipping awesome, and it's got me where I am today. But then there's also a lot of advice where I've heard and I've tried it, and it's just never worked out. And at the end of the day, I got to do not what's best for them, but what's best for me. That's just the bottom line. And so, yeah. Some people, calisthenics and gym half and half split. No, that's stupid. That's dumb. Nah, bro. I'm hitting every muscle group. I'm hitting my workouts. I'm staying consistent. I'm going even when I don't want to and don't feel like it. You can't tell me that's stupid. Because if I stay consistent, and then the guy, out there that doesn't really like working out or doesn't really like the gym or something, but yeah, he heard that's the best thing. He'd rather do calisthenics, but he heard the gym's better, so he tries to stay with the gym. After a few months, the guy, who says, oh, the gym's better, but yeah, he doesn't really like the gym. he's going to end up quitting. He's going to go to calisthenics. So if you love it both, man, it's like, I always say the best workout, the best thing for anyone in life is the thing that you love the most and that you can stay consistent with so much that it's almost ridiculous. It's almost like, again, obsession. So, you know what? Hey, whatever. I got the half gym, half calisthenics. I love this. I'm looking forward to seeing where it's taking me. I got that gut feeling. I got to go with it. That's what we got to do in life sometimes, man. Sacrifice, other people's outlook. Sacrifice sometimes what we've been taught. Sometimes we got to unlearn what we've learned. Pretty sure that was a quote from like Yoda from Star Wars, but sometimes we have to, unlearn what we've learned. Sometimes, right? And this is one of those scenarios where I have to unlearn what I've learned. Gym or calisthenics. Nah, man. I love them both. I love both cultures. I love seeing people working out in the gym and even meeting some other people and just being inside like the environment of the gym. I love it all. But I also love the outdoors. I love being alone sometimes. I love nature. So you know what? I gotta do it both, bro. It's in my gut. It's in my soul. I just gotta see where this takes me. So yeah. Anyway, enough yapping, as I can do for a long time. Enough yapping. Let's get to this, shall we? Tell me this ain't a nice setting, huh? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. All right, let's go. Yeah. 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 Whew, talk about some high stinking humidity. When I look at my weather app says it's about like 87 degrees last time I checked. Nice. But it also said real feel 106. So you talk about training in the cold weather in the winter, which you will be seeing coming up. What's worse, the below freezing or even like the hard freezes from winter training outdoors in, or the summer humidity of real feel of 106? Really depends on your preference. I feel like it's kind of hard for me to choose either one of them. I mean, because I like the vibe of both seasons. I really do like the vibe of both seasons. Like, I used to hate winter with a passion, but lately I've been actually learning to love it. I kind of like liking the vibe and all that stuff. So winter's been a win for me lately. However, what I don't like is the insane polar vortex where it gets like -25, the wind chill's -50. You can't even walk outside without having frostbite in 5 minutes. That's the stuff I don't like. But 10s, 20s, 30s, snow, I've actually learned to like that stuff. Just not really driving in it. But on the contrary, summer's always been my favorite season. And I love summer, man, I do. But kind of like the extreme of winter with the polar vortex, I guess, the high humidity would be that extreme of the summer where you're sweating if you look the wrong way, where it's like, oh, don't go outside for more than 20 minutes, otherwise you're gonna get heat stroke. So that's the other end of the extreme. And I've learned to actually like the kind of, the hot days, the cloudy days, the stormy days, just not driving in it. So both seasons have kind of matched what I like and don't like, just because I've simply trained myself to love winter, because where I live, winter, yeah, of course, December, January, February. However, the cold lasts through March and even April, sometimes a little bit through May, and it usually begins around November. So we got a long, cold season here. And I remember when I used to hate winter, I told myself, I got to learn to love this in some way, because I cannot keep living my life this way, being depressed for 6 months out of the year. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to learn to enjoy it. Yeah, sure, summer's still my favorite by far, if I'm being honest. But I've also learned to actually enjoy winter. I've learned to see the beauty in it. I've learned just to embrace the cold rather than fear it. So that's that. I kind of trained myself over time to love it. And now I actually kind of look forward to the cold season. Just like I said, not polar vortex and stuff where you got to worry about, not being able to walk outside for 10 seconds. Otherwise, you're cooked, if you will. So that's the only thing I haven't really learned to enjoy as much as I would like to admit. But anyway, give me a second and I'll see you in a second. And so, yeah, I've kind of learned to, like and embrace winter as much as I used to hate it, which kind of just goes to show that sometimes in life, it's not about whether you love or hate it. It's about your mindset on it. You could take something that you don't like and turn it into something that you do like, whereas you could take something that you like and find every reason not to like it. This being said, I think passions are different in the sense that, you just love it so much. And, a passion is not just you love it, but, you feel it inside of you. You feel it inside of you. I need to try this. I need to give it a shot. I need to do this. That's what passion is you're willing to suffer for it. You don't just love it, but you feel it inside of you. Whereas a different mindset is you take something that you don't like and you learn to find the goods about it and you learn to enjoy it at least as much as you can. It doesn't mean you're going to love it, but what it does mean is that you're going to learn to enjoy it. And similarly, there are people out there who love some stuff, but then because they have a negative outlook on things and on life, they take those things that they once loved and they start finding every reason to hate on it and to pick on it. And then before you know it, they're not enjoying it anymore because they've simply found every reason to hate on it. So at the end of the day, when it comes to likes and dislikes, I think it's more of your mindset. And then of course there's going to be those things where you just don't like no matter what. You cannot get yourself to love it no matter how hard you try. And then there's going to be those things that you love so much to where you cannot get yourself to hate it even if you tried. And that is where passion is. You love it so much you can't even get yourself to hate it. Sure, you'll find some realistic negatives and some not so great things, but you love it so much that those negative things don't even matter that much. They don't even make an impact compared to your love for it. And again, it's not just about you love it. It's about you feel it. You love it so much, you just feel it. Oh, this is for me. I got to do this, whatever it may be. So I think that's where passion is different. It's on the love spectrum, but on the complete very top, nothing can surpass it. I think that's where passion stands. But as for other things in life, hey, try some things that you don't really like to do. Some things that you have a negative outlook on. Maybe just give it a shot, but find the positives in it. You might learn to like it more than you think, especially for things that you need to learn to love. Because winter, if I can make winter not happen, back then I would have made it not happen. But since I cannot prevent winter from ever happening, and I cannot control that, I figured I might as well just learn to love it at least the most that I could. And so that way 6 months out of my life, or 6 months out of the year, out of every year of my life, isn't depressing or negative. Or I don't have to wait until I move type of thing, because it could be years till I actually do. So I figured might as well just learn to enjoy the stay while it's here and while I'm here. And sure enough, you find enough positives, you change your mindset on it, boom, over time, you actually learn to actually love it. Notice over time, not just right away. But yeah, that's that. Anyway, instead of a Bible reading, I think I'll do a little verse of the day to put our minds on, and that is Isaiah 6:8. And I read this earlier, saw it earlier, and I'm like, ooh, that's pretty good. The Lord. So this is how it goes. Might not have it word for word, but basic idea. The the Lord says, whom shall I send? And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? Whom shall go for us? And that's where I said, here I am. Basically how the verse goes. I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? Who will go for us? And there I said, here I am. That's some courage right there. Because even if you're afraid, or if you're like scared of something, but like if you feel God calling you to something, if you feel God telling you to go, like, hey, whom shall I send? And you kind of hear his voice calling for you, don't hesitate, man. Because even if you're afraid or not confident in yourself or think that you're going to fail, whatever, it's like you heard God's voice for a reason, right? God's going to help you through whatever it is that you need to be helped through. And plus, as God's word also says, his plans will prevail. So even if you think you're going to fail, let's just say you do. His plan was for you to fail. But that failure may just lead to success in the future, or may just teach you something good. So even that failure is actually a blessing, because it's either going to be a great teacher or a great success builder. That's just how life goes. All failures are either a great teacher and or a great success builder. So either way, failure is actually a blessing, not a curse. But the bottom line is that if you hear God's voice saying like, hey, if you hear God's voice calling out to you, bottom line, don't hesitate and don't be afraid to say like, hey, here I am. What do you need me to do, God? Where do you need me to go? Because I'm telling you, man, it may seem scary at first. It may seem frightening, terrifying. You're just you're not really all that great. I'm not really all that great. I'm not the greatest. I'm not the strongest. But I hear God's voice saying, here I am. Maybe it's God's plan to turn you into one of the greatest and strongest, at least of his soldiers, right? But hey, man, that's how we ought to live, is that we hear God's voice and right away we're just like, boom, here I am, right? Here I am. Even if we're not confident, even if we don't think we're great, even if we're not that great, because, hey, God's calling us, man. God wanted us to hear him for a reason, and, God's plans will prevail above all else, even if you're not that great. So, he may not be that great, but his plans may just be to make you great, and he needs you to hear him and to say, I'll go with you first. You got to be able to walk with God if you want him to do great things for you. So that's just kind of how I take it. But yeah, we hear God's voice, we can sit there and question it and think to ourselves we're not that great and doubt it all day long. Or we can just say, you know what, God, we can have this like kind of crazy faith to where we just say, you know what, God, here I am. I'm not that strong. I'm not that great. I'm not that cool, whatever. But you know what? I got you. You've had my back. I got your back. What do you need me to do? And before you know it, God may just be blessing you, up and down, left and right. Be a start. But, God may just be blessing you more than you ever thought he could, because God's just that good and he loves us that much. Again, not to say that I'm speaking for God. That's why I say he may just be blessing you. But what I do know is that according to his word, according to him, he has plans to prosper us and not to harm us, to give us hope in the future. His plans prevail above all else, and he loves us. That's the bottom line. So, hey, following God couldn't be bad. Never has been bad, never will be bad. So you might as well just follow him, no matter how scary it may seem, or, doubtful it may seem, whatever. Never hurts. Also, check out this beautiful scenery before I let you go here. Oh, beautiful, ain't it? I gotta start walking back, though. Starting to get dark. I got some other things to do. So, that being said, this has been it for today. Let's go become the great men that we were born to be, and the kind of men that God made us to be. And I'll see you tomorrow, man, to continue our journey. Awesome. Peace.